legendary status. Hey everyone, so today we are talking about Simon Chimbetu, a Zimbabwean music legend who was a leader of a group called Orchestra Dendera Kings. Now, this is going to be part one of two videos because there's so much to talk about when it comes to Simon Chimbetu. He was born on 23rd of September 1955 in Harare. He had 8 albums as part of the Marxist Brothers and he recorded 13 solo albums. Simon Chimbetu will go down in history as one of the best ever musicians that Zimbabwe has ever produced. He was very comfortable with different languages. He was fluent in and actually sang in Shona, Chewa, Ndebele, Swahili, and many others. He attended a secondary school called Msengezi High School. He was part of a group of children that was abducted during the liberation struggle, but he was asked to return home because he was too young. His career began in the late 1970s, playing music in the hotels alongside his brother. Simon Chimbetu was part of the liberation struggle when he joined and trained with the guerrilla forces in Tanzania. His lyrics were strongly influenced by his experiences as a black person in a racially divided country. Because of his earlier experiences in life and his knowledge about the Liberation War, Simon Chimbetu always wrote songs that were politically conscious. Songs like Pane Asipo, Suwaraenda, and many others which we will talk about in the second part of this video. So when Zimbabwe won their independence in 1980, Simon Chimbetu used to play at Mushandira Pamwe Hotel, backed by a popular group called Sungura Boys. He performed with his brother Nason Chimbetu, and the two were called the Marxist Brothers. After a few years performing together, the Marxist Brothers first saw success with the 2 songs Nerera and Dr. Nero. This success was followed by 7 other albums. However, after this patch, the two decided to go their separate ways in 1988. There was no doubt that Simon Chimbetu was, of course, the more talented of the 2 brothers. Towards the end of 1980s, Simon Chimbetu recorded many great songs and he created his own band called Orchestra Dendera Kings. The name Dendera was a reference to a tropical bird with a booming bass, and Simon Chimbetu's songs are distinguished by a deep booming bass guitar, like Dendera. He launched his solo career in 1990 with the release of the album called Nguwa Kaoma, which means Hard Times. This album had great songs like Spare Wheel, Pasira Panduka, Samatenga, and many others. However, Samatenga was the biggest hit from this album and it stayed number 1 spot for a very long time. It was a very well written song with emotional lyrics. He says, "Sei mwari muchitipa nguwa yakaoma, ko hama dzedu dzinotisiya dziri piko." What he is saying is, I ask to God why you give us such a difficult time. Where do our loved ones go when they die? Then he speaks on behalf of that person who has died, trying to negotiate their way back home because they miss their family. He says, "Ndasuwa mwana wangu gotwe," which means I missed my last born. This was Simon Chimbetu at his very best, second to no one. However, he was also the definition of what goes up must come down. You see, his success was interrupted by his 2-year imprisonment from 1993 after being convicted of receiving a stolen car. Fun enough, when they released him in 1995, he immediately shot to the top with an album called Pachipamwe, which means Welcome Back. This was a really good album with songs like Saina, which was a favorite at many weddings and social gatherings. So there are different ways to look at this song, but basically it's one where a parent is encouraging children to prosper or to move on to their next chapter in life, rejecting stagnation. The word Saina means to sign or sign. In this song, it is referring to the signing of marriage papers at a weddings, so moving on to the next chapter in life. This was one of Chimbetu's distinct successes, being able to reclaim the top spot even after being jailed for such a long time. Although you could never question his talent, there was a lot of ups and downs surrounding this guy's career. And of course, we'll talk about the rest in part 2 of this legendary musician.